This is how we can check if our application is running in a debugger. So with a PEB, that means process environment block, we can use the being debug field and the anti-global flag. Unfortunately, there's not really much documentation from the official Microsoft website, but we can go to undocumented.ntinternals.net, so this will give a way better overview. So here we can see the being debugged field and the anti-global flag. The structure it's mainly used by the operating system. For example, you can use it to the number of processors, build number, OS platform ID, and so on. But yeah, in this case, we're just gonna focus on being debugged and anti-global flag. Of course, now we still will need the offsets, and in order to get them, we can just use WinDBG. So I can just load any application. You can find this PEB block, so you can find it in every application, and now we need the PEB address. So we'll just write this PEB. Then we just scroll up, and here we can see the PEB address. Just click on it, and here we can see the offset. It's 0x2 being debugged. And now we still need the anti-global flag. And here it is. It's at 0xBC. Okay, so this is a target application. So this application will check if a debugger is attached to the process. And here we can see the function for the anti-global flag. This is for x64 and this is for 32-bit, but I've just compiled this for 64-bit. So with keyword pdigs 0x60, we can get the address from the process environment block. We will just move it to the ARX register, and then we say AIX plus 0xBC, and then we will move the data from this memory address to CL. And in the end, we will move the CL register value to this variable, and then we will just return it. So when the return value is non-zero, then we will get this message, debugger detected. In this case now I've here used official Microsoft functions as debugger present, but it's basically the same. It's the same logic. Instead of BC, you could just write 0x2, for example. Okay, then I will open this application now on x64 DBG. And we can take a look at this one. Here you can see it's basically the same. Just move the PEB address to AIX plus 2, and then the last byte from this address will move to AIX, and the rest will be filled with zeros. And the return value will be in AIX, of course, and just ret will just return the value. Or maybe we should execute this application at first without the debugger. So then we can see no debugger detected, and Then I will run this application with a debugger attached. Right, first you need to remove the breakpoint. Okay, now we're in the main program. And now we can see debugger detected, and now we want to bypass this. But at first, let's see what the compiler has done with the code. Okay, it looks a little bit different if we compare it with just with this one. So we will move the address from the PEB again to AIX. Okay, now we're at this address. Here you can see the address of the process environment block. And then we will add the value BC. So plus BC. And now you can see there's a 0. So 70 is a value. Okay, now we will just step through. And we will move the value for CL. What's in CL? CL is 70. And now we will move it to RVP plus 3. And then we will move the value from RVP plus 3 to EDX. So here we can see RDX. Okay, now here is EDX, but okay, so there's the data. And we can see in ARX we have now today. Okay, it's not basically it's not ARX, it's the AL register. Okay. Now I let it run again. And now we will just set this value to 0 with a DLL injection. Okay, so there's a program for the DLL injection, just DLL injector.exe target app.exe. That's the application that we basically will attack, and this is a anti-debug DLL. So it's this one. We will just inject this DLL. Again, move the address from the PB to ARX. And then we will just set ARX plus 0x2 to 0. And the same for RAX plus 0xBC. So this will just manipulate the process environment block, and this is a DLL injector. But I will upload all the codes to a GitHub repo. Okay, now we can see it says debugger detected. And now we'll just inject the DLL. Oh, maybe. Okay, and pay attention to this one, to the 70 value. And as you can see, it's now 0. And it says no debugger detected. And yeah, so that's how we can bypass these two anti-debug functions.